Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Dina and this is my first update for the second half of February. And I wanted to let you know that I participated yesterday in a SAL and then I continued working on it today for another SAL. So with this one piece, I have worked in two SALs. I've done a Valentine's SAL for Stitch from Stash, and then I participated in a Work That Whips SAL for Stitch Mania. And I chose to use my new start for this month, my Simply Love by Glendon Place, for the Valentine's SAL. And since I didn't get to stitch very much on it yesterday, I continued today for the little bit of time I had today so that I could get a little bit more done. So here's where I'm at. Since I showed it last, I've just simply added two more of those little swirls. And they are a little bit finicky because, as I mentioned last time, they mirror each other. So I'm trying to stitch one and then the other one right behind it so that I can remember exactly how I did the lines on the stitches, where I went from which spot to the next, so that the threads turn out as close to the same as I can possibly get them. I'm doing that because I feel like in the center, where they're so close together like this, that they need to be very symmetrical. And I think that once I get the center part done, I won't be so worried about it. But anyway, I did get to stitch. I'm happy about that. Didn't get a lot of stitching done today because I'm excited. We have guests coming this evening. They're on their way. They're en route. These are friends of ours from where we used to live, and we've been trying to get together since before Christmas. And unfortunately, they are in a season of their life where their parents are beginning to have health issues, and in my friend's case, she has buried her stepfather and her mother within a month of each other. And so all of that went through the Christmas holidays. It was a tough year. So they're coming up to do Christmas with us. We haven't done it yet. We usually exchange a gift and have been since our children were about 10 years old. So that's about 26 years. And didn't want this year to be the first year we didn't get to share a present with each other and our time with each other. So they're on their way here. Anyway, we want to cram a lot into a day tomorrow, so I probably won't get any stitching done tomorrow, and that's okay. I'll be back at it hopefully on Sunday, and we'll have a new update to share with you next week. So in the meantime, I hope you are spending all the time you can stitching and enjoying every minute of it. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Dina, and today is Sunday. It is February 17th. I had to stop and think. I hope you're doing well. We had a fabulous weekend. Our friends came up and visited with us, and we were able to take them on a little tour of the area, and we finally got to open our Christmas presents from each other, and that was a lot of fun. And my friend finally got to see the St. Nick's toys that I've shown as a finish on here before. And that is the one that has the little chair with all of the toys sitting in it, one of which is the Raggedy Ann doll. And she squealed and was so excited and jumped up and hugged my neck, so I think it was a big hit. Now, this is the same person that I will give the old rag doll to in March for her birthday. They'll be kind of close together now. They weren't meant to be, but that's just the way life goes sometimes. So I turned out to have a pretty good stitching day today. And there's a sale going on right now that started today, and it's a finishing sale. It's a sale to work on your whip that's closest to a finish and push through to finish it if you can. And the sale's going on for several days, and I actually thought that it was going to take me several days to finish this whip because I had a little bit of stitching left on it and I had quite a bit of back stitching to do. I got to stitch for several hours today. It's pretty awesome. So, here's my latest finish. I finished Halloween Tricks today. This is the Saturday Evening Post cover, and it's from the Stoney Creek collection, and I'm pretty excited about it. Here's my finish. I think it's precious. Those boys' expressions say it all. I love the old-fashioned look of it. You know, it's an era piece, obviously, from their shoes and their clothing, but I love it. I think it turned out really, really well. And so I will try to find a frame on my own and frame it myself because it's a small piece. I should be able to do that. And then I could put it out on my picture rail, and then it can be featured when it becomes time for the fall and Halloween. I'm so thrilled to be finished with it. It's one of my Stitch 9, so that's a great accomplishment. And I was hoping to get finished with all of the cross stitch this month and finish the back stitching next month on a rotation because I am using it, or was using it, every month for the Halloween sale. It's a year-long sale. So now that means I have to stitch on something else that's Halloween. So I'll have to give some thought to what that might be. Anyway, I hope you like it. I've enjoyed stitching it. I think it's been a great stitch. Thanks for letting me share my finish with you. And I hope that you're enjoying a lovely weekend. Have enjoyed a lovely weekend. It's about 9:30, almost 10 o'clock now. And I hope you have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Happy stitching. Bye. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina, and today is Tuesday, February the 19th. And I just wanted to come in this evening and give you an update on the whip I've been working on for the last couple of days. This was a recent new start, and I just got it started and then put it away. This is a Kiss for Snowman. It's a gold collection Petite from Dimensions, and this little Petite was a gift this Christmas from my son. Let you get a good look at it there. And when I started in this upper corner, and I had just gotten a little bit of the corner done coming down this side. Probably just had about this much done right here. And in the last couple of days, I've gotten this much done. I have finished all of the background. Over here you can see there's a tree there with snow. That's the sky. And this is the little pom-pom and the beginning of the snowman's hat. And this is the edge of his scarf here. So this is where the snowman has begun. I'm very pleased with this. It's, I don't know how well you can see on camera the dimensions, but this is one of those kits that has you do some of your threads with 2, some with 3, some with 4, and some half stitches and some cross stitches. So this is a tricky one. You just have to pay attention because each of the colors can at one point be a symbol that says it's a cross stitch with 2 threads, or it could be a half stitch with 4, or it could be a cross stitch with 1 thread. As the colors are diminishing in vibrancy to make it look like they're getting lighter in the sunlight, some of those are just 1/1, or just one, you know, full crosses, but with only 1 strand. So I have everything in here already from 1 strand to 4 strands. It's been interesting. It just makes you have to pay attention. But it's getting me ready for full coverage, because there are just a few spots in here. Every now and then there'll be 1 or 2 little squares that are left blank. And those aren't meant to be snowflakes either, because there are French knots all over here for snowflakes, which I think I'm going to use white beads for. I just think that would be fun. Anyway, I'm pleased with the progress on this for the last couple of days, but I'm going to put it away now because I have a stitching meetup this Saturday. It is our monthly meetup at our library, and this is a perfect size project to take with me. I have it in a small project bag that was a gift from Marlene, Stitching by the Lake. When I purchased one of her bags last year, this was a gift that she sent me. And I have the kit threads on my thread drops that I made. You can tell it's a Christmas kit because that one is a Christmas thread drop. But anyway, I have these ready so they're easy to take with me. And I think that's what I'm going to do with them. Is just take them to the library and, you know, work on this part of the day there. So rather than spend any more of my days in my rotation working on this piece, even though it is one of my Stitch 9, I think I'll save it for the next date, which would be my 3rd day on it. And that's usually my rotation. I will save that for Saturday at the library. I want to pause you for a moment, and I want to pick up something that my friend that came up to visit over the weekend gifted me, and it's stitching related, and so I want to share it with you. Hang on. Thanks for letting me pause for just a minute to pick these up. I wanted to share a couple of gifts that she had given me when they came. This is my friend who sells the Raggedy Ann dolls and collects them herself, and she knows that I love vintage sewing things. So one of the things that she had done for me is that she had found these old needle books. Some of you will recognize these. My mom had these, or some like these. So this was a Rocket, and that's the brand name. They're called Silver Eye needles. And then she had 2 books that she got me, one of which is empty. The needles aren't in there. The other has the internal parts to it, but they're very beautiful needle books. Now the outsides, this is one side, and then this is what the other side looks like for both of them. But it's the inside that's different. They had advertisements on the inside. This is what the inside of that one looks like. And this is actually where the needles are. And there's still some in there, in this one. And then this one had a different advertisement, but all the needles are gone. But these are just fun vintage items that she thought I might want to add to my collection. And this was her prize. She had one that was Raggedy Ann as well, so she thought that was just awesome. And I think it's great fun, and it's actually got the best inside of all of them. So I wanted to, that's the other side of it, share those with you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina, and today is Thursday, and it is the 21st of February. I have a couple of things I want to share with you today, and it is a dreary, foggy, rainy day, so I am looking forward to possibly doing some finishing today, and if not, at least some stitching. Perfect day for it. Not a day when you can go outside and do very much, so I'm going to make it a wonderfully productive day inside. Thank you for joining me again. I have finish. New start and finish to share with you. Don't get excited, it's a small. It is one of my series that I work on for my sales, and this one is the Little House Needleworks Sheep Virtues. It is my 10th one. This one is Kindness. It's got little pumpkins there. And I changed up just 2 things on here. As you know, I'm doing this on an Afghan, and so the sheep color here, if I did it the color called for, the ecru, it would disappear on the Afghan, just completely disappear. So I decided to do it a different color, and I will give you that color. It's 3782. So it's a little bit darker than the ecru. It's just enough to show up because my fabric is lighter than this, so it's almost like the reverse of that. And then you'll notice that it has hearts as the dot for the eye and this little banner of hearts here. And for me, hearts are red. So instead of doing them that sort of rusty orange color of the pumpkins, I did them 221. So here it is. That's red. So those were the only 2 changes that I made. And I'm getting quicker on these. This one took me 9.5 hours to stitch, so I stitched it over 2 days of stitching. I had a really good day of stitching on Wednesday. I went for a walk, and I just went, to the gym and walked with my friend. I had lunch with a stitching buddy, and she's not a floss tuber. You've heard me speak of her before, my friend Janet. And we had a wonderful time talking. We had lunch, and then we wanted to free up our booth at the restaurant. So we ran over just a few doors down to Starbucks, and we got a cup of coffee and just sat and finished talking because we hadn't seen each other in a little while. And we had crochet to talk about, and we had stitching to talk about, and retreats to talk about, in addition to our life updates with each other. And so it was a lovely conversation. So when I got home yesterday, it was cold and rainy, and I thought, I don't have this due for a sal, but I've got 3 more of these to do. They're on my stitch 9, and I just want to get them started. So this morning, bright and early, I got up and finished this, and then went on about my day. So now I'm back home, and I wanted to go ahead and video this update for you and show you my little miniature finish here on Kindness. So there's my 10th block on the quilt. I think it's precious. I love it. So I've been trying to do my little sheep different colors off and on. I've got several in that darker color. There's one. And then I've got several in bright white, B5200, so it'll show up. There's a white one. And then this one was so interesting in the pattern because it actually had a design in the sheep's fur. It's the only one like that in the whole series, but I think it's precious. It's exciting to know that I only have 2 more of these sheep to do, and I will be finished with the cross stitch on my Afghan unless I decide to do anything else to it other than backing it, which I intend to do with a very, very soft flannel. think that's what I've decided. This fabric on this Afghan is scratchy. It's not a comfortable, soft fabric. And so I'm thinking that it's going to need something soft and warm, so that it's comfortable over your lap. And putting a really soft flannel on the back that you could put next to you, I think would be the way to go. And as I've said before, I've got all the buttons that go with these pieces. And my original thought was that I would put the buttons on the Afghan. I'm not sure about that, because then that might make it difficult to wash as you go through, life with this, because we want to use it. So I'm going to have to think about that. I'm going to have to think about whether I want to use the buttons for the Afghan, or whether I want to redo these little sheep virtues a second time in more of a single piece. I've seen that there's a center piece that someone has put in the middle and then done these sheep virtues all around it, and I think that would make a beautiful wall hanging. So I don't know. If I did that, I could save the buttons for that, or if I made smalls out of these. That would be an opportunity to use each button as well. I'm just not sure having the button on an Afghan would be the wisest choice. Okay, I have one more thing I want to share with you today, and that is a piece of happy mail that I got. I recently finished Ashley's Roses, and long time ago, over a year ago, when I started that, I had a couple of people contact me and say, if you want to sell this pattern when you're done with it, I'd really like to buy it from you. And y'all know me, I usually pass the stash. I don't usually sell anything. Hadn't thought about that. So I just said, let me take your name, and when I'm done with it, I will look at passing the stash, and I'll definitely let you know. Well, this happened so early of my floss tubing that I actually did not know then what I do now, which is that I pass the stash by letting everyone tell me that are interested, and I use the random number generator. So I had written down this person's name, and within seconds of each other, 2 people had contacted me about that pattern. So I spoke with both of them by text messaging or through Messenger, asking them were they both still interested, let them know there were 2 of them that wanted it, and that their requests came in just right on top of each other, and ask to make sure they both still wanted it before I did a random number generator between the 2 of them to see who would get it. And I had a thought, so I asked both people, would you mind after you stitch it to pass it to the other one? And that way you both get to do it. And they both immediately said, absolutely, we'll be happy to do that. And one person said, let the other lady go first because I've got some stuff I'm working on and it would take me too long to get to it. She could probably finish it before I get to it. So that worked out beautifully. So I contacted the lady that was going to be getting the pattern first, gave her the contact information for lady number 2, and it turns out that she watches that lady as well. Watches her floss tube. So that worked out magnificently, and that pattern went off with some goodies, and I got a lovely thank you, and time's been marching along, and I've been doing other things. Didn't give it another thought until yesterday. Yesterday, I got a package in the mail, and I wasn't expecting one. I'm doing Stitch from Stash, so I'm ordering very, very little, only what I have to finish kitting up a project that I'm about to start, or to replace threads, or, something like that. I did buy a project bag, which I showed you last time, but I had to. I had to. It had my monogram on it. So I got this package, and inside the package, in addition to the business card of the person who made the bag, which I'll share with you. I had a note from her, and she said, "This bag is from your friend." And she had this lady's name as my gifter of this bag. So my friend, as a thank you, ordered me this bag and had it sent to me. And I didn't have her permission to share her name here, so I'm not, but she knows who she is. And I do too, and I thank you so much. I've thanked her privately, but I just have to share it with you because it's just perfect for me. It's absolutely perfect for me. So here's my bag. It's a Made by Mama Joan bag, and I don't have any of her bags. I have eyeballed them. I have drooled over some, and I have been looking for the perfect one of her bags to purchase. And I just hadn't gotten there yet because I'm trying to be so careful with my Stitch from Stash money. But this bag came to me. And if you look at it, it has thread bobbin in there. And on the back, it has a statement, and it says, "My soul is fed with my needle and thread." I just love it. I actually have a wooden carved desk plaque that says "My soul is fed by needle and thread" that my husband gave me a few years back, and it has been on my sewing desk ever since. It's one of my staples in my sewing room. I just love it. It's my mantra. So this could not have been more perfect, and I love red. Y'all know I love red. And so this is just a beautiful piece. Beautiful piece. Made by Mama Joan bag. My first. So again, thank you. What a sweet, sweet gift. Every time I use this, I will think of you. So thank you for doing that. So I just wanted to share what a sweet gift I had gotten today. And just, again, an illustration of how giving and kind stitchers are to one another. And I can't say that enough. I talk about it often on my channel because I've been so blessed in the people that I've met and the experiences that I've had. So I just want to thank you all for being a part of that, and especially thank this lady because she made my day. So appreciate that very, very much. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. Today is Saturday, February the 23rd. And today, if you will recall, we had a stitching meetup at our local library. I'm so excited. We had such a wonderful crowd of people there today. There were 27 of us there that were stitching, adults stitching. We had one very special person who came with Lisa, the silver stitcher. Her granddaughter, her person, came today, and we got to spend the day with her. And I will tell you, that is one of the best behaved children I have ever had the privilege of being around. She just took my heart. She helped me today because I had a little surprise for those who showed up today. I had some silly little door prizes that I had wrapped up, and about every hour to hour and a half we drew for a door prize. And so Miss Sophia got to draw. So I was really, really thankful. Thank you so much for helping me. We had such a fun time. Everyone got into the spirit of it, and these were very small things, but they were stitching related, and one was weather related. It was a rainy, misty day today, so one of the door prizes was a brand new umbrella. Anyway, we had a lovely time, and I will tell you something else. The library where we meet has a classroom, and it holds comfortably about 21, 22 people. We had 27 people in there today, just saying. We were sitting on top of each other. We had another room available that would have held at least 8 to 10 people, and I offered the group the opportunity to have some people go and split over there just for the sake of comfort and room, and nobody really cared. They would rather be, you know, close quartered with each other and get to all be together than to split off from the group and go to another room where, you know, you'd have two separate groups stitching. I kind of anticipated that, but I had asked for the second room just so I wouldn't have to tell anybody that they couldn't come. And as it turned out, we all had a ball. We just had such a good time. And I thank everybody that came and participated today. So it was kind of funny because at a stitching get-together, you don't always get to stitch as much as you would have if you were at home because you're talking and visiting. And as the hostess, I was jumping up and making sure people were getting their name tags and getting their name in for the drawings and running and getting extra chairs and things like that. So I didn't get to stitch as much as I normally would if I were at home. And one of my friends there, Melody, got really tickled because this happens to be a stitch-a-thon weekend, and I was counting my stitches as I was going. And she got tickled at me because I only got, and I wrote it down, 369 stitches the whole time I was there. That's how many stitches I made. Fortunately, I started stitching my marathon last night at 5 when you could start, and I came home after the stitching meetup today, and after dinner with my family, I sat down and I stitched again. So I've got a respectable amount of stitches in, 1,063. So I'm gonna turn that in tonight because tomorrow's a very busy day at our church, and I may not get to stitch very much, and then I might forget to turn everything in. So I went ahead and did that so I could at least get my name in the hat. So what did I stitch on for my 1,063 stitches today? Well, over the weekend. I was working on a Kiss for Snowman. If you might recall, this is a kit, a Gold Collections Petite, that my son gifted me for Christmas this year, and I couldn't resist it. So I got started on it in December. And I actually have a picture on where I started on it this time because of the stitch-a-thon. So I'll insert that here. And this is where we ended up today. So we got the hat finished, and I came across and did a little more of this, and then we started working on the face. So I'm working my way down here now. This is all finished. This is the scarf around his neck, and then his neck and body go down here. So I'm just working my way down the snowman right now. And I'm gonna call that a finish for the rotation on this one because I've actually worked on it now a little over 2 days, and I'm gonna work on it possibly again this month. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it up. And tomorrow, my hope is, if I get any stitching time, to pull out Nantucket Rose and put some extra stitches in her, because this one, A Kiss for Snowman, and Nantucket Rose are my two longest term pieces that are in my Stitch 9. And so every chance I get, I'm trying to put extra stitches in them so I can be sure I finish them this year. Now, I have to share with you a sweet, sweet gift. Recently, I had gotten a message from someone who watches my channel, and she indicated that she had a Mill Hill kit that was a Raggedy Ann piece, and she knows that I stitch Raggedy Ann for my friend Cheryl, and this is the kit. She had stitched it, but she was willing to give the pattern to me if I wanted it, and I said yes, because I have red, white, and blue beads. So I'll have plenty of beads to do this with. and I can find whatever red, white, and blue thread I need. I can pick the colors I want right out of my DMC. So yes, I would love it. So she sent it to me. She sent me the sweetest note, and she mentioned in a little note to me that she had heard me say on my floss tube that I loved monograms, that I enjoyed a monogram, and I do. I showed you that on my new bag that I had gotten. And so she decided that my little pattern could not travel alone. And she had found in the Cross Stitcher magazine, January 2018, a monogram. So she decided to stitch me one. Isn't that beautiful? It's on a little clock clip, so I can put it on my scissors if I want, or I can attach it to my light up here, or just have it as an ornament, whatever I want to do with it. But I just think that is adorable. It's fully finished and ready to go, and it's elegant and beautiful. I tell you what, I thank you so much. I was so touched, and it just meant the world to me. And I didn't get permission to use your full name, but Candace, thank you. And appreciate you thinking of me and sending me the Mill Hill kit, which I will definitely be working on for my friend for her birthday or Christmas or some special occasion coming up in the new year. Okay, so at this point, I want to show you some finishing I've been doing. I have mentioned that I found some frames, ready-made frames at Michael's and one at Hobby Lobby that I was going to frame some pieces in. And I haven't had a lot of time to do the lacing and pinning and framing, but I did get one large piece done, and then I got two small pieces done that I'm going to show you because I'm just kind of getting started with that. So pardon me as I grab this one. You may recall that I was gifted this kiss, and I just had to put it through a little bit of surgery to put some beads on it. Well, this was a frame that I found at Michael's, and I think it goes beautifully with those dark colors of the people's hair. And so I'm gonna step back and let you see what a great fit this was. I didn't feel like it needed a mat because of the border, the metallic border makes this fabric look like it's a mat. So I didn't mat it, I just framed it. So I pinned it and laced it, and I put it in my ready-made frame. Now, this is the other thing I did, and this is one of the pieces I told you the lady was so kind to me in Michael's about. She sold me the spacers to go in here. If you can see close enough, you can tell there's a space between the piece and the glass. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it at all, but it's about 1/4 inch. It's a clear plastic that has adhesive on one side, and you peel and stick it. And she actually cut it to fit my frame, and I put that in on the side of the frame, and it's holding the glass up off of my piece. And that way my beads are resting beautifully in there, especially these larger ones here, without any trouble. So I'm gonna back up one more time and let you see it. I think it fits beautifully. I was so tickled with it. And I do really like that dark wood. Like I said, I think it goes well with these bold, rich colors, and the dark matches their hair. So I just felt like it looked well together. Sorry for the glare. It's just regular glass because it was a regular picture frame, but it's gonna look, I think, very striking in my home. So I got that one done. And then I went ahead and did two because they are small pieces that I wanted to get finished so that I could put my sister Stephanie's birthday present together. So Stephanie, you can listen, but you have to look away now, and I'll tell you when you can look back. And I promise to remember to tell you this time. Last time I forgot to tell her, so I had to tell her on the phone. When the next day starts, you can look. You've seen these stitched, but not fully finished, and so I wanted to just share that with you. All right, Stephanie, make sure you're looking away. Don't look back yet. Okay, here's the first one. And that's how I chose to complete that one. And here's the second one. So those all will be going in her birthday package. And I'm thinking that she'll like them. I hope so. And I have a couple of other little things to put in there with those and make her gift complete. Okay, Stephanie, you can look back now. I want to thank you for letting me share with you about my exciting day today. I guess you could tell how excited I still was after I got home. I think I talked my husband's ear off about it today, telling him how much fun we had. And I was glad that I got enough stitches in to qualify for the stitch-a-thon. So I was able to eke that out anyway. I hope you're having a great weekend as well. And I will be back in a few days with another update, I hope. And until then, happy stitching, everyone. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. This is Dina, and today is Monday. It is February 25th. And I am back to give you an update on one of my Stitch 9 projects. I have been stitching the last couple of days on Nantucket Rose, and if you are stitching her or have her in your stash and you want to start her, then please feel free to go on Facebook. There's a Facebook group. It's called Nantucket Rose Sal, and you can join us and stitch along with us and let us enjoy your progress as well. I'll tell you what I've been working on and then show you my progress. When I showed you Nantucket Rose this last time, I had done some of the dark pleats of her skirt here, and I had completed the road back here that's running by the house. And I had mentioned that I wanted to work a little bit on the confetti under the house, all of the greenery, and that's what I did, mostly. So here's my progress on her. She is starting to come together quite a bit. I've actually made it to the bottom on this side, but her white lace garment will dip way below that side. So let me get a little closer and tell you what I worked on this time. Before, I had some of this greenery done under the house, but not a lot. And so I went ahead and completed most of that greenery. In fact, I color completed all of the greenery that's directly under the house. There'll be more in the flowers, but as you can see the rounded shapes under here, you can tell that's where those flowers are gonna start, right over here. So I did a lot of confetti for the last couple of days, and I got tired of doing so much confetti. Instead of starting onto the pink flowers, I did stitch these three because they're a different color than these down here. I came back across to her skirt and I put in the lighter color in the skirt, the real pale color, all the way across all up in here and all the way across to about right there. And so I felt like I'm trying to keep evenly working down as I go, you know, so I'm trying to work my way back and forth across the picture. So that is the plan. I am very hopeful of finishing this as part of my Stitch 9 challenge this year. I do think I should be able to finish her within a year, the end of this year, because it appears where I'm at is right in here, and that would be about halfway of the picture, although I know there's a lot of open space right here, but there's open space down here too. So maybe I could say I'm about halfway there, but I'm really looking forward to getting into more of this skirt. And if you'll recall, I am using a pearl cotton number 8 right here for the white lace garment to make it just a wee bit puffier than the rest of the skirt, so that it just gives it almost like a dimensions kit effect, you know, like you're stitching with an extra thread or something. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm really glad that I'm out of the trees and that I've gotten that house and background and all that green done, because the rest of the photo now is gonna have other colors. I get to do all these pinks in here with a little bit of green, and then the rest of this won't be green. So it'll be a little change, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's where I'm at on that one. Now, what's on the rest of my month? Because today's only the 25th. Well, there's only 28 days this month, of course. It's February and it's not a leap year. So that means there are 3 days left. So I am not sure that I'm going to get very much stitching done in the next 3 days because I have other obligations. Life is getting in the way for me right now, but it's pleasant. I'm glad that it's there, but I will be doing other things. I have to go help decorate for a banquet in the morning at our church, and then I will be also doing a day of framing. There's a framing Sal in one of the Facebook groups, and right now I need to frame my Let It Snow piece that I finished, and I need to frame my Ashley's Roses, and I need to frame my Halloween tricks. I have purchased the frames, I just haven't gotten them framed yet. So I will be working on those one of these 3 days, if not 2 of these 3 days. So some of it is stitching related, it's just finishing work. You know, want to do that and get those up on my walls. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week of stitching as we head into March, and I will talk to you soon. Happy stitching, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.